Most people think the opposite of success is failure. They're wrong. The opposite of success is erosion. It's the slow, quiet crumbling of your boundaries until one day you wake up and realize your life is a ruin. You aren't burnt out because you work too hard. You're burnt out because your walls fell down and you let the world move in. In 444 BC, one man was given a blueprint to rebuild a collapsed civilization in just 52 days. If you are standing at 0 today, pay attention. This isn't a motivational speech. This is an engineering plan for your soul. After 52 days of sweat, blood, and constant vigilance, the gaps were finally closed. But Nehemiah knew a secret that modern productivity gurus often miss. A finished wall is not a finished life. You can rebuild your bank account. You can rebuild your body. You can even rebuild your reputation. But if the city inside the wall remains empty, you haven't built a home. You've built a fortress for a ghost. In Nehemiah chapter 7, the text says, "After the wall had been rebuilt, and I had set the doors in place, the city was large and spacious, but there were few people in it." This is the most dangerous moment of your recovery. It is the void of success. When the crisis is over and the walls are up, the adrenaline disappears. This is where most people relapse. They get bored with their new safety and start looking back at the fires of their past. To prevent this, Nehemiah moved from architecture to culture. Nehemiah realized that a wall is only worth what it protects. He instituted a census. He brought people back into the city based on their ancestry and their calling. The informative protocol. When you rebuild your life from 0, you must carefully choose what you move back in. The furniture of habit. Do not bring your old, broken habits into your new, strong city. If you rebuilt your life to escape burnout, don't move your 14-hour workday habit into your new house. The residence of influence. Nehemiah was picky about who lived near the temple. You must be picky about who lives in your inner circle. Now that you have walls, you have the right to choose your neighbors. The guard of the watch. He appointed Hanani and Hananiah because they were men of integrity and feared God more than most. In your new life, your guard is your non-negotiables. These are the rules that stay in place even when there is no active war. For example, I do not check my phone before 8 a.m. I do not work on Sundays. These aren't just habits. They are the standing army that keeps your ruins from returning. In Chapter 8, the blueprint reaches its psychological climax. The wall was done, but the people were still mentally slaves. To fix the mind, Nehemiah brought in Ezra to read the law from morning until midday. The science of identity. Rebuilding your life requires a narrative shift. For years, the residents of Jerusalem identified as the defeated. They saw themselves as the people of the rubble. By reading the ancient scrolls, Ezra was literally rewiring their brains. He was giving them a new identity, the people of the covenant. If you want to stay recovered, you must change the script you read to yourself. Old script: I am a failure who got lucky. New script: I am an architect who survived the fire and built a fortress. Information for the viewer. This is why daily reading, whether it be scripture, philosophy, or deep wisdom, is not a luxury. It is the maintenance of the wall. If you stop feeding your mind the blueprint, your mind will default back to the rubble. Nehemiah 12:43 says, "The joy of Jerusalem was heard from far away." This is the final step of the Nehemiah blueprint, the consecration of the comeback. Most people are so afraid of failing again that they forget to celebrate the fact that they are standing. Nehemiah organized a massive, loud, public celebration. Why? Because joy is a weapon. When your enemies, the critics, the doubters, the voices in your head, hear you celebrating, they realize they have lost their power over you. Joy is the signal that the ruin has officially ended. The final protocol for you. When you hit your 52-day goal, when you finally clear that debt, when you finally feel the peace return to your home, mark the moment. Throw a dinner, write a letter to your past self, buy the stone that marks the new foundation. You didn't just survive. You didn't just get by. You stood under the broom tree of Elijah. You wept in the palace of Susa. You rode through the ruins at midnight, and you held the sword while you laid the brick. The ruins of your life were never meant to quarry, the place where you find the stones to build something even stronger than what was there before. The Nehemiah blueprint to be your graveyard. They were meant to be your next. Not about construction. It's about the resurrection of the human spirit. It's about the fact that no matter how burned the gates are, the hinges can be replaced. No matter how scattered the stones are, they can be stacked again. You are no longer at zero. You are the architect. The wall is up. The gates are shut. The city is yours. Now, what will you build inside?